Hello, I'm Alli Waters. Welcome to LA Music Scene. I am very excited today because I have a special guest, Victoria De Mare. She's an accomplished scream queen who has starred in many horror flicks and other TV shows and movies as well. She's also a singer-songwriter. So I invited her here to the studio for an interview and to have her perform a little for us. So I hope you can stick around and watch the show because she is amazing. Okay, Victoria De Mare, welcome to LA Music Scene.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you for having me.
So, how did you get into music? How long ago did you start singing?
I started singing actually as a child. My first memory of music and really just being shell-shocked by a musical experience was, I was a child. I was 5 or 6 years old. And my father and my uncle, his younger brother, whipped out their guitars, acoustic guitars out of nowhere, and started playing and singing and harmonizing a Kenny Rogers song called Reuben James. And I was just like completely freaked out. I just stood there as a little kid and was just overwhelmed by the fact that not only was the sound so amazing, but I had no idea that the two of them could do anything like that. And what was this hidden fabulous skill that they had, and they could play these instruments and they could sing and they're harmonizing, and what is that sound I just heard? So that kind of started my obsession and my love affair with music.
You also are a dancer, right? You've been dancing for a long time?
I am a dancer. That was my first introduction, really, was with dance in the performing arts and in the entertainment business. I'm not really a religious person per se. I don't really practice any one kind of religion or go to church. But the dance studio was always my church, in that when I went into that room, everything else in my life disappeared. I was only focused on the movement and the music and perfecting the technique and the choreography of whatever we were studying or performing. And I didn't want to leave because it felt so good when I was in there. And I guess the music studio has become my church now in the same way.
What does music mean to you?
Music to me is really the only way I think that you can really reach everyone as a community in the world. I think music is the only universal language that everyone speaks, that you can use and everyone understands. So I love the fact that even if they don't speak the language that you're singing in, it really doesn't matter, because they're connecting to the sound, the music, the tone, the melody of however you sound, or musically you're reaching them through in emotion. And that's, I guess, why people love to escape watching movies or TV shows. It's that emotion that they're connecting with.
Right.
So that's why I love using music to communicate with everyone globally.
Nice.
When I'm really bummed out, I love to put on my favorite artists and sing along with them.
Like who?
It always makes me feel better. Like Otis Redding and like Karen Carpenter and Janis Joplin and George Michael, Sheryl Crow, Patsy Cline, Madonna and Pat Benatar and The Runaways and Michael Jackson and Prince. And now as an adult, I used to love doing that so much and fantasize about that so much that now as an adult I have my own sound and my own music, and now I am the artist.
Those musicians that you mentioned, like, during that time there was so much good music coming out. And what do you think about the music scene right now and the music that's coming out of LA?
I'm really actually disappointed in the music that's coming out today, the popular music, and even the popular rock and roll or just rock music that's coming out. I'm a little disappointed. It's very, I find it to be extremely commercially packaged for consumers. It seems to be so aggressively so. And I feel like that major companies are looking for artists that sound the same as the artists that they've already sold multi-millions of dollars worth of product. So I find it to be very hard to be a new artist in this day and age in the music industry and to break in, especially if you're unique and unusual. I don't really follow, honestly, the LA scene too much in the LA bands. I used to perform a lot in LA in cover bands all throughout LA, which I've always found to be the most exciting and most fun shows and performances actually in LA along the Sunset Strip. The cover shows, the individual shows are kind of sparsely attended, and unless they're really heavily promoted and have had a following from other cities or states, I really find that the local LA music scene pales in comparison to what it was, say, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Mm-hmm. So I haven't been performing all in that much in the past couple years, since I've really been in the studio recording, trying to release a lot of material at the same time. I do acoustic performances with my partner. When we get asked, anyone can contact us and ask us to perform if you'd like at any event.
Who's your partner?
My partner is Michael Sean Collin. He's mostly well known for his film scores. He's a film composer, and that's how I met him initially. 2008, he had composed a score of a sci-fi action film I did called Bioslime. And at the initial private screening before the premiere screening, I was attending, and he was there as well. And I hadn't seen anything of any cut, any rough, anything of the film. And I just remember sitting in that private screening and just being like, yeah, the whole time listening, whoa, and screaming out to the music. And the score was so like, who is this? And it ended up being Michael Sean Collin, who I thought was really fantastic. And when I parted ways with my former co-writer, Kim Fowley, in 2011, a colleague of mine, filmmaker John Lachago, had suggested to me, have you heard any of Michael Sean Collin's pop music? And I was like, no, I wasn't aware of that he composed pop music or he was even interested in pop music. And he said, well, you should get together with him and hear some of his stuff. And I knew Michael was the one the day we met.
Really?
Not necessarily the day we met the first time at that screening, but the day we met to discuss my musical projects and desires and what I wanted to work on with him that he might be potentially interested in. And I had written a track called Turn Your Heart On, which is actually a pop rock track that is my most downloaded and streamed song still today from 2013. It's called Turn Your Heart On, and I presented it to Michael and started singing along to it, not playing anything, just singing it acoustically and a cappella for him in his studio. And he was listening, not even looking at me, just kind of listening and nodding along. And then he started to reach over and pick up his acoustic guitar and started playing along and started playing. A lot of times when I present a song to Michael, he asked me, don't give me the whole presentation and the whole composition and the whole breakdown of the arrangement. Just start singing it. Just do it. And I was so glad that I did that, because he just started to play along, and I'm looking in my notes, and he starts to play exactly the sound and the music and everything that I had already written and composed that I had had in my head. He started just playing. And it was one of those surreal moments where it was like, is this a dream? You know, like, is this a dream? Like, am I awake here? It was very surreal. It gave me goosebumps. It's giving me goosebumps again, that someone could be so connected to you creatively, and especially in music. I feel like you need to find that kind of relationship and marriage, for lack of a better term. And I was like, oh my God, yes, you are it. John Lachago was right. And he was just like, that's really great. That's a really great number. And I think here it should kind of go. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's what I have in my notes. And I'm like trying to show him. And I just thought, this is a dream come true. This is like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, we just go together in an undeniably perfect way and combination. Hi, I'm Victoria DeMar, and you're watching LA Music Scene with Alli Waters.
And Victoria DeMar.
And Victoria DeMar.
Woo! Okay, so you mentioned Kim Fowley. You want to tell me about him?
Yes, Kim Fowley is unfortunately no longer with us, actually. Kim Fowley passed away in 2015, January in 2015. Kim is a legend in the music business, though. Kim Fowley is an individual that you either love or you hate. He's a producer and a music songwriter. Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum selling artist. I mean, I had never producer and songwriter. I've never seen in person so many real platinum records. I mean, he sold even more gold records, I think, that he did platinum. But when you walk in and you see a wall of hundreds of records like that, and you're like, is that real? And you're like looking at it and reading it and being like, oh my God. Kim had hits from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. He's worked with everyone from Alice Cooper to Kiss to Motley Crue. He's best known, I guess, for discovering, writing for, and managing the Runaways from the mid-70s. People know them best from Joan Jett's first band before her big solo career. Cherie Currie was the lead singer. Lita Ford was also in the group. Sandy West was the drummer. It was an all-girl punk rock band in the mid-70s. And again, the most successful artist, I guess, out of that group was Joan Jett, but Lita Ford also had a terrific career. So when I met him at a magazine signing, a magazine that I was in that I had a feature editorial article in, and he came to the signing because he was friends with the publisher of the magazine. And so when he walked in, he was incredibly tall. I mean, 6'5", 6'6". So you saw him coming. And he's an incredibly odd individual. So he sticks out like a sore thumb just in his personality and his aura. And so I knew when he walked in who it was, and the publisher had introduced me, and I thought, oh my God. And as he's shaking my hand, he said to me, "Are you a singer?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "Of course you are." And then shortly after that, I got a phone call from him. I'm putting together my new Runaways, an all-girl punk rock band. I'm calling Black Room Dune, a 9-member band, and I want you to be in it. I want you to do lead vocals. And I was like, I'm there. And he's like, tomorrow noon, here's the address of the recording studio. You'll be paid at the end of the day of every day, by check, bring your ID. And so it was like, oh my God, I didn't even know how to prepare for that. So it was an incredible experience. Some of those recording sessions with Kim Fowley in my career with him, with the band Black Room Doom, and my first solo endeavor, and my first solo album called Actress that came and went in 2011. Those recording sessions were some of the highlights of my whole professional career of 20 years.
You're watching LA Music Scene. Don't you dare go anywhere.
1, 2, 3.
I love you. I can't live without you. I love you. I can't live without you. Do you dream about me like I dream about you? No, you can always be just who you are with me. I want to cream on you for life. Oh, hard to be the one simply 'cause I love you. I can't live without you. 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 That's my new pop rock track in production. That will be the first single off my 3rd solo album, currently titled My Bitch.
Nice.
I'll make you raw, lay down the law, you'll bite and gnaw, come take me.
Hi, I'm Victoria DeMar, and you're watching LA Music Scene with Alli Waters.
Cut like a slaw, clutch at me. lay down the law.